When compared to other parts of India, whether it's Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, or Haryana, or other places, Karnataka is relatively free from many communal rights and the communal ideology till the arrival of what's it called, the Ayodhya issue in 1991. Even Karnataka was not affected by the partition, so we never had the memories of the partition in Karnataka. For us, memories of Karnataka, memories of partition, the text, I would call it as the textual memories or textual narratives that have been produced or reproduced. For us, it is more of an independent rather than a partition. In fact, the first, incident of communal, incident, I don't call it a riot, incident took place in 1920s. There was a time when we had this Khilafat movement emerging at all India level. At the same time, we had this similar movement, the peasant movement, coming up in the Malabar region against the Namboodiris by the, particularly what's called the Tamils or Muslims, which the colonialists construed as the communal issue. But in Karnataka, 1920s, it started just on a small pretext, on a small issue like Ganesha festival. It was a small incident. If you look at that history, probably there is a long absence of communal politics or the communal ideology penetrating deeply in this culture or penetrating deeply in society. Reasons are simple and many. One is that Karnataka had this tolerant society right from the beginning. The second important thing and the most important thing we have is what's called the synthetic culture, as well as what's called the different Nata panthas, as well as the Sufi tradition that operated in different parts of in Karnataka. That's the reason why there's a kind of syncretism that emerged in Karnataka, which prevented the communal politics to emerge. And it also created a kind of fuzzy community, particularly in North Karnataka. If you look at the Sufi traditions created the fuzzy community, and which fuzzy community is basically an abstract community. That's the reason why the identities were blurred. It was not clear. That's the reason why you find clear identity of individual based on the communities. And that's the reason why that absence of this communal issues, division of the individuals based on the communal identities and other things. The very important thing is that even the state. State was not only tolerant but also it was a receptive state. For example, if you look at the Bahamani kingdom, which ruled, what's it called, Bijapur and other parts. They were not only the supporters of the Islamic tradition, but also they were trying to reach out to the others, particularly through their support to the literature, language, culture, and also text. And that's the reason why you have got larger couple of Bahamani kingdoms who are known as very, very tolerant. And at the same time, we had the Maharajas of the princely state, which is also known as the liberal but feudal state. And liberal state also accommodated these communities. Like, for example, 1920s, you have what's called the non-Brahmin movement, which demanded for the representation of the non-Brahmins in the state capitals, and which led to what is called the introduction of the affirmative action or reservation policy in the princely state. And that led to the accommodation of large number of OBCs, including minorities, into the state structure. That's the reason why there is a kind of close connection between the communities and the state, communities between the one community and the other. That's the reason why there is no rupture, there is no division on the basis of the communal identities. But in fact, 1990 or the late 1980s saw the sea change. Large number of communal rights or a large number of communal violence took place in Karnataka. In fact, if you look at Karnataka now, Karnataka is on the verge of major shake-up in terms of the communal ideologies and the communal issues. There are certain pockets that are being known as, which are being called as what is called the experimental lab of Hindutva. The best example would be the coastal belt of Karnataka. Coastal belt of Karnataka has now completely transformed into a laboratory. Now, in fact, if you look at the reason for that, I would subscribe to the one important element of the state that will also contribute to the communal ideology to grow in this coastal belt. The one particular ideology was basically a particular policy of the state, particular policy on the land reforms of the 1970, which was literally a progressive land reforms. But that land reforms in 1970 provided social security to the backward classes. But the land, that land reforms created what's called a category of owner cultivators. But in fact, these owner cultivators were not big landlords. They did not get huge amounts of land out of these, what's called the land reform, but they got very, very small patches of land. And that's the reason why they could able to stay there. They could able to get what's called social identities from the tenants to the owner cultivator, but their economy was in absolute doldrums. In other words, it did not provide them the social or the economic security in this subsequent generation. So in 1970s, it provided what is the required identity, social identity. But in 1980s, it created a huge amount of what is called the social crisis and the economic crisis. They are not being able to be, what's called accommodated in the different sectors of the economy. And this crisis was literally exploited by the, BJP, Hindutva forces. And that's the reason why BJP and its Central could able to what's called create a large number of fringe groups like Ram Sene, Bajrang and other things, and try to accommodate these kind of categories who are being disillusioned, who are being, undergoing the social and economic crisis, particularly the OBCs. That's the reason if you look at the structure in communal politics, two things are quite apparent, three things are quite apparent. One is that this communal politics is largely engineered by the Hindutva groups in the coastal belt, and the coastal belt has become what is called the experimental lab. Secondly, the bashing categories of these fringe elements came largely from the OBCs. The ideological apparatus were provided by the upper caste. These things are quite obvious. That doesn't mean that there is no backlash. In fact, I would call this particular area where you have this competitive communalism also emerging. The Muslim backlash is also emerging. If you look at the kind of organization that have emerged in the coastal belt, look at the parties, SDPI or the Popular Front of India. Even though they are, arguing that they are the multi-cultural groups or what's called they are recommending the diverse group, but in fact they are the one which are literally representing the Muslims as such. In fact, they are the groups which are now also competing with the Hindutva communal groups. That's the reason why you have a category called competitive communal politics, competitive communal parties or competitive communal organizations operating in the places like the coastal belt, Southgate, or the Bangalore district as such. But in fact, now the communal politics is slowly entering into every domain. The division is becoming almost clear now. The division is in terms of the binary oppositions. Like for example, the saffron versus the green. The what is called the coconut versus the khajur. or you have these kind of things. Binary oppositions are becoming very, very clear. Dialogue between the Muslim girl or Muslim boy and the Hindu boy has completely stopped. Like for example, the coastal belt, you can't have this kind of dialogue. And the communal identities or the identity markers of the communalism are covering the even public spaces. Like for example, if you take in coastal belt, every electric pole you find the saffron flag. Every hand post will have the saffron flag. Every bus stop you have the saffron flag. Every rickshaw stand you have the saffron flag. Every light lamp you have the saffron flag, which obviously means that these public instrument or the institutions or even a place, they are being occupied. The moment you remove this kind of flag represent the identity. They become the identity markers. It leads to the communal rights. A small issue, like for example, a teasing, a love affair, sitting together, or eating out in a hotel, or traveling together in a bus between two communities. All these things have translated into the communal politics. The second important thing is that the communal politics is now trying to appropriate the simplicity culture in Karnataka. For example, take the case of the Baba Budangiri, which is a location which is a simplistic place in a place called Chennamma, where once Baba Budan lived in that particular area, which was known for the simplistic place. Hindutva trying to appropriate that, saying that this Baba Budangiri once belonged to the Hindus. That's the reason why they are trying to convert that syncretic place into the Hindu place. Or take the case of Shishuna Sharif or anybody for that matter, trying to say that they are the Hindus. And that's the reason why you have a syncretic culture being appropriated. Or we take the case of other things, there are other modes of appropriating the cultural symbols. And also there are ways in which Hindutva are trying to enter into the domain, political domain. Look at, for example, they are trying to enter into the civil society. The large number of civil society groups have been organized in Karnataka. Like for example, take the case of the social movement also. Environmental movement in the coastal belt, which was absolutely secular one particular point that has been taken over or appropriated by the Hindutva. Political defeat is not the important thing for the Hindutva. Political defeat is not the primary concern of the communal politics in Karnataka. For them, converting a Hindu into a cultural Hindu, which later on brings the political dividends, that becomes an important thing. Like for example, they think that once you convert the Hindus, including the OBCs, they are trying to convert these OBCs into a cultural Hindu. For that, they try to appropriate the what's called the symbols of OBCs, whether the Narayan Guru or the Dalit icon like the Ambedkar, or even in Ullar, a place called Ullar, where you have this Rani Abbakka was who fought against the Britishers, was being appropriated, or you have this Queen Kittur Rani Chennamma. So BJP ultimately established a university in her name. They are trying to appropriate these local icons also. It's not a national icon only. Like for example, they've been appropriating Arvind Ghosh, Ambedkar, and Vivekananda and others. But at the same time, they are trying to appropriate these local icons who represented these OBCs, who represented the Dalits, who represented the marginalized categories. And trying to copy these categories along with them. That's the reason why their politics always constructed in terms of the other binary opposition between we and they, the Muslims versus the Hindus, the Christians versus the Hindus, or the Malayali versus the Malayali Christians versus the Hindus. These kind of binary oppositions they try to create. That's the reason why Karnataka is fast becoming a place for the communal, what's called the conflict, communal ideology, communal, what's called the communism as well. Ideology has become everyday phrase. Ideology becoming now dominant. It is not necessary that the conflict takes place every day. Karnataka has not witnessed the communal conflict every day. Even the certain pockets like Bangalore, the coastal belt, I am told that around 2 years, not less than 250 communal violence has taken place. And interestingly, in that coastal belt, even the Hindutva is trying to appropriate even the corporate sector also, including the mall, wherein they supply the what's called the security agents, security guards. They all belong to the Hindutva. So they are trying to occupy every space. If you go to hotels, if you go to civil society, if you go to bank, if you go to institutions like the colleges, if you go to the university, everywhere, including the police. When he said by one of the Hindutva video, saying that in coastal belt around 70% of the police forces they came from the Hindutva, which obviously means that they are trying to occupy this space. So what I'm trying to say that look at this space, evil space is shrinking in Karnataka. Now the whole question is that is there any something called counter forces which are trying to counter this Hindutva going? See, I would say that there are nearly 4 to 5 groups that are operating in Karnataka. They are trying to counter this Hindutva or the communal politics in Karnataka. But most of the time, their politics has remained at the, I would say, that symbolic level. See, Hindutva are trying to penetrate deep into the cultural sphere, to the means of ideas, to the means of text, to the means of civil society. So the whole question is that when they are trying to penetrate deep into the lifestyle, they try to penetrate deep into the everyday life practices. These groups, 5 to 6 groups, which are countering these in the proper ways, are not too strong enough. I think we need to build a large number of groups. One side is that we need to, counter them with the cultural means by way of, celebrating what is called the counter culture. Second is that we need to have what is called collectives, larger number of collectives, whether civil society collective or the institutional collectives and other things. And these collectives need to be very, very strong to counter that. Third important thing is that we need to counter them the ideas, idea of secularism, idea of liberalism, idea of freedom, all these kind of things that we need to think. The fourth important thing is that we need to counter them to the needs of diversity. Even though our diversity, they are trying to counter that in terms of what is homogeneity, but we need to talk in terms of individuality. Diversity, heterogeneity, multiplicity of culture practice should go together. And the kind of celebration, I think we need to know what's called the celebratory politics at the grassroots level. Probably a multi-faceted strategy would help us to counter the Hindutva movement. It is not simply in terms of politics alone. We need to counter them in terms of the culture, in terms of the ideas, in terms of civil society practices, or even in terms of what is called the everyday life practice. Don't think it is possible in Karnataka. Otherwise, what happens is that Hindutva might become dominant force. The moment it becomes a dominant force, the space available to us will shrink. And that is the biggest threat to Indian democracy. So, I think we need to protect this Indian democracy, even though it is deep penetrating in that, but it is under danger. It is literally under danger. Even though there are people like Bhagavad and others who are trying to negate the caste, the presence of the caste, and trying to counter whatever the historical argument that are being made in Indian context. Like, for example, the argument of Romila and others have been there, being countering it. But we need to counter that argument also. I think only when you come to, when you practice, when you go for it with organic politics, then only possible when we can retain the same the old argument of tolerant society, liberal society, and the communally free Karnataka that can retain otherwise Karnataka to fail.